What's up, dude? Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Let's see, nothing new since the last time I sat down and did a video. Oh, my mom and I got some new matching Vans. We got the gray suede lace-ups, low tops of course. They're pretty cool. My mom and I are matching now, so that's really fun. We wore them today at the same time. I kind of like doing that with her though. We have a lot of fun. It's something we've really started to bond over is Vans shoes. She has quite a few pairs and I have a ton of pairs. So it's fun to match with her. And we're not like matchy. We just wear like the shoes. It's not like we're coordinating our entire outfits, so I don't know. It's kind of fun. But other than that, nothing really new to report. Let's just jump into today's case. So today we are going to be talking about Colleen Ritzer and Philip Chisholm. Colleen graduated in 2011 from Assumption College in Worcester. She was magna cum laude with a Bachelor of Arts degree in math, a minor in psychology, and a secondary education concentration. She taught at Danvers High School in Danvers, Massachusetts for 2 years. She lived at home with her 20-year-old brother and her sister, who was a high school senior at the time of this case. She had a pretty close-knit family that enjoyed spending time together outside. They would barbecue and just sit outside with each other often, neighbors reported. Her students described her as warm, nice, and welcoming, and she would stand outside her class to say hello to students that she didn't even teach. So she was like one of those really great teachers that everybody either loved having or wished that they would have had, but everyone only had nice things to say about her. And Philip Chisholm moved to Massachusetts from Tennessee before the school year had started in 2013. He was 14 years old at the time of this case, and I believe Colleen was 23 or 24. He played on the school's junior varsity team and was a top goal scorer. Philip was described as soft-spoken by another senior soccer player. He was quiet and not very outgoing. All of the classmates that had been interviewed kind of said the same thing, that he was like quiet and almost weirdly quiet. We're just gonna go through the timeline of this case because there were cameras. This all happened inside a school, so that's why we have like timestamps for everything, and we're gonna kind of just go through the day. So this timeline comes from boston.com. So after the class period had ended, Colleen, Philip, and another student were in the classroom getting extra help, Philip and this other classmate. The other student had told police that at some point Miss Ritzer mentioned Tennessee. She said that Philip became visibly upset after she mentioned Tennessee, and it's reported that Philip's parents were going through a stressful divorce in Tennessee, and maybe that's why Philip got upset. Maybe he had some ill feelings towards that state as a whole. The other student said that Miss Ritzer had changed the subject after seeing Philip getting upset. So that kind of shows that she was very in tune with her students and sort of their moods and what was going on in their lives at the time, which I thought was really cool. So this all happened on October 22nd. At 2:54 p.m., Danvers High School teacher, Colleen Ritzer, can be seen on the video leaving her classroom and walking towards a woman's restroom. At 2:55, wearing a hood and gloves, Philip enters the same second-floor bathroom as Colleen. Now, he hung back in the classroom a little bit after she had left and gone to the bathroom. You actually can find the surveillance footage of this, so if you guys want to look it up, it is out there and it's open for viewing. So at 3:06 p.m., so 11 minutes later, after Philip goes into the bathroom, a female student enters and then quickly exits the bathroom. She later told investigators she thought she had walked in on someone changing clothes, and that's why she quickly left. At 3:07, Philip exits the bathroom with a hood over his head. At 3:14, he is seen on camera pulling a green recycling bin toward the bathroom and wearing different clothes. At 3:16, he re-enters the bathroom with the recycling bin. At 3:22, he exits the bathroom, pulling the recycling bin and now wearing a black ski mask. From 3:23 to 3:32, so 9 minutes, Philip is seen exiting the school and dragging the recycling bin toward a wooded area behind dumpsters that sit behind the school. Now keep in mind, they were on the second floor of the school. At 3:30, the mother of a Danvers High student sees Philip running away from the high school. At 4 o'clock, Philip, now barefoot, re-enters the school building. At 4:05, he re-enters the bathroom. A minute later, he leaves and exits the school building. At 4:30, he goes to the Hollywood Hits movie theater in Danvers and watches a Woody Allen movie. At 6:34, Diana Chisholm calls Danvers police to report Philip as missing. At 9 p.m., so now we've jumped ahead quite a few hours from 6:34 to 9 p.m., Danvers High principal Sue Ambrovich sends a mass email to all school faculty and staff informing them that Philip was missing. At 9 p.m., so like the same time, the principal gets a call from a math teacher who says that Colleen is also missing. So now we jump ahead to October 23rd. So at 12:30 a.m., Philip is picked up by police in Topsfield, and that is 11 minutes away from Danvers, where this all happened. Police recognize him as a missing child sought by Danvers police. When Philip was picked up by the cops, they found that he had a box cutter, a ski mask, gloves, and multiple changes of clothes in his backpack. When police asked whose blood was on the box cutters, he replied, "The girl." He also had Colleen's credit cards and a pair of underwear. First, he said that he had found the underwear and then later changed his story and said that he had taken them from her car. Now, I think it was in Tuesday's video I mentioned that when they start changing their stories, that's when people start to get really suspicious. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, it does seem like that when someone starts changing their story, they had something to do with the case. Because if you don't have to lie, you don't have to keep track of them if you're just telling the truth. Like, when you lie, you have to keep track of your lies, and if you lose track and start telling different stories, that's when people start getting caught. Hours after finding Philip, police were searching the woods near the high school and found Colleen's body under some leaves. She was naked from the waist down, and her body had been sexually staged. Colleen's throat had been slit from behind, according to law officers, and after some more investigating, it is found out that Philip ended up choking Colleen and that he had used the box cutters to cut her throat, and she had been sexually assaulted by Philip and by a foreign object. In 2015, Philip was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years for killing Colleen. He also has to serve 2 40-year prison terms concurrently for her rape and armed robbery, because remember, he did take her credit cards and her underwear, so that is considered now robbery, and he had a weapon, the box cutter. The 2 40-year prison terms means that he cannot seek parole, or he can't be released until at least 40 years after his sentencing. So he has to be in prison for 40 years before he can even try to be paroled. And at the time of when all of this had happened and stuff, and by the time he had been sentenced, after the 40 years, he would be 54 by then. So an older man. Before the trial began, Philip refused to go into the courtroom. He banged his head against a floor and told a psychologist he hears voices and hopes someone will shoot him. Prosecutors said that they think he's faking it to avoid trial. It doesn't sound like this had ever been proven or disproven. I just thought it was something kind of interesting to note. In 2021, Philip appealed his sentence. However, at the same time, another case was pending involving an attempted murder of a Department of Youth Services worker in 2014. So when he had gotten in trouble for Colleen's case, he had also assaulted somebody that worked at the detention center. So that case was still open and pending as well. So not really a good, track record. His attorneys were trying to maintain that Philip suffered from a brain or mental disorder. No verdict has been reached, so the 2014 case remains open. So his appeal is still open and out there. It hasn't been, I guess, accepted or denied either way. So it's crazy that this happened in 2013 and they're still dealing with it as of 2022. Colleen's parents filed a lawsuit in 2016 stating that the school's security system was not properly monitored and that the school's cleaning company was instructed to clean up blood found in the bathroom, but that the police were not called. During the trial, the school's then school resource officer testified that while the district had recently completed a $71 million renovation of the high school, including installing a new security system, the computer software used was outdated and made it difficult to monitor. Documents filed in the lawsuit pertaining to the security system will be sealed until 2042, the Salem News reported. So we have no idea what happened with that case. I feel like a lot of times when families of victims try to find someone to sue or sort of to take blame for their loved ones being killed, that it's not really about the money, it's about holding someone accountable and getting some type of closure. I could be absolutely wrong, but that's just kind of what I've noticed, it seems like. So I'm sure for her family, they're just trying to get some sort of closure, or they don't want her death to feel like it was for nothing. Like if they get the security systems updated and working so this kind of thing doesn't happen again, I'm sure it's a case of, well, we feel like now her death wasn't just in vain. It wasn't for no reason. Now, hopefully, nobody else in the school will get hurt again because the security cameras and everything has been updated, and now the kids can be properly monitored and made safer in the school. Like I said, I could be totally wrong. It's just kind of what I gather from some of these cases, that it's just a sense of closure for the families. And I feel like that's fair. I mean, I can't imagine the trauma that her family went through because, I mean, from what everyone said, she was a very beloved teacher at the school, and it sounds like her family got along really well. She was still living at home, even though she had been teaching for 2 years. She was close with her families. All the students liked her. I think that this is a very, very sad case. I know that I just sort of jumped in and it was a little awkward at times and stuff, but I was trying to get everything into a chronological order so it made some kind of sense. I couldn't find a ton of information about Philip and even Colleen. I found some, which is basically what I told you guys, but I didn't find much on her, just that she was very beloved and everybody enjoyed her class. And no one had anything, of course, bad to say about her. And even Philip, no one really had anything bad to say necessarily about him, other than that he was quiet. And that's not really a bad thing. So I don't know. It's just very confusing why all of a sudden he went off. There was a hate note that he had written that he hated everybody, and it sounds like he had kind of been infatuated with Colleen a little bit, but there too, it's like there's no sources really to back that up. I mean, Colleen's not here to talk about her experience with Philip, and Philip hasn't said anything more about it. So I guess this is just where the case is at today. I really hope that Philip has to stay in jail. So even though he was 14 years old at the time, he was tried as an adult, and they tried to appeal that too, which that didn't go through because he still got sentenced to life in prison and the 40 years until he could even ask for parole. So, but I think that it was because this was such a heinous crime and it was premeditated that he was tried as an adult. And with the sexual assault charges and stuff too, that's all very adult stuff. So I think that's kind of why they were like, yep, this is a more sophisticated case than just a kid getting mad and accidentally murdering a teacher, because of a temper tantrum or just flying off the handle. So yeah, that is today's case. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. This again was a subscriber submitted case. If you guys have cases that you want me to try to cover, please leave them in the comments down below. So thank you guys so much for watching my videos and for liking and subscribing. But that is it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be back tomorrow with another true crime video. Bye guys.